Peace and love, family. We're going to get into another one. Get right with the Most High and the Messiah. And, man, hey, make it do what it do, baby. Hey, man, we're going to get into some. This affordability crisis is just out of control, man. It is. So we're going to get into it. Get into another one. Like I said, I'm dropping multiple videos. So if you see me with the same stuff on, please, I don't want to hear it. This is all recorded in one day, okay? All these videos. And then when I recorded it the other day, I do, you understand? So be patient with me, all right? I'm just, like I said, I got a lot going on. But let's get into it, all right?
Yeah, truth be told, they ain't ready for this heat. Peel the layers back on every fake facade. They building narratives, we see right through the fraud. I'm the signal cutting through the digital static. My feed is undisputed facts, my flow is cinematic. We expose the truth be told, yeah, the truth be told. Watch the algorithm break as we make it go viral.
Let's get into another one, all right? Let's see what it is and make it do what it do, baby.
You know the secret. Where y'all getting your money from? Because there's no way. There's no way that everybody's out here struggling, yet everybody has money. Okay? I'm seeing stuff, people out here flaunting what they got, summertime goals, going on vacations, all that. Where y'all getting this bread from? And don't tell me it's a credit card, because I don't believe that. Somebody give me the real source of where y'all getting this money from.
Well, sister, you said it. It was credit cards. You said it's not. But it is. Go look at U.S. debt clock. It'll tell you how much the American public owes. I think it's like $1.4 trillion in credit card debt. $1.4 trillion. That's where they're getting the money from. I'm going to be real with you. That's where they're getting the money from. It's from credit cards. If it wasn't for credit cards, guess what? How can I say it? Things will hit the fan if it wasn't for credit cards. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff, when you see the stores packed and all that, a lot of people spending it on credit cards. Other than that, it would have been collapsed. But what they're doing, they're propping up the stock market, they're propping this up, propping that up, and a lot of people being more lenient with the repos and all that. That's where the money's coming from. So, yeah, they're going to get the bailout, but you're not.
15-ish years ago, I was able to afford a one-bedroom luxury apartment off a $50,000 a year salary. I was just having a conversation with someone that worked for me a couple years ago, and she's signing her first job offer, making $106,000 a year right out of college. She, I don't believe, has student loan debt. Obviously, inner city is going to be more expensive. My apartment was in the suburbs of Boston. However, she cannot find a place to rent within reason without having at least 2 roommates. $106,000 with very financially responsible person. And it's wild when I have conversations with those that are in their 60s and 70s and truly don't understand the cost of living and why the birth rate is declining. I don't know, Susie, because most people my age, and I'm a millennial, I'm 38, and most people my age and younger, they don't feel like they can responsibly take care of themselves. And so you want people to be responsible, because a lot of my friends with young kids, they have to have 2 salaries to afford life, but their child care is the cost of their mortgage, if not more. And they bought homes at like a good time too. Like they have a really good interest rate. Like their mortgage isn't unaffordable as much as a lot of mortgages are now, but their childcare is their mortgage. So they're like owning 2 homes to have children to be able to stay in the workforce so they can just afford life. That's why.
Well, it's not only that also. It's also what they put in the food and all that. So, yeah, it's expensive, especially if you got babies. Especially if you got babies, it's very expensive.
Thursday night, my wife went and got her hair done. I think it was like 110. My dog was groomed yesterday, and then me and 2 of my boys went and got haircuts. And it was, with $27 each with tip, it was about $100. and then our dog was $100 with tip was $120. So altogether, man, it's like $350 just for haircuts. So I don't know. You know, it's crazy. And you go to the store and everything is super expensive. Just curious, what are you guys doing to earn some additional money during these times?
Me and my wife were both talking about the economy a few minutes ago, and it's like I told her, I don't understand how people are making it today. I don't understand how people are living in this economy, because everything is so freaking expensive that if you're not making $100,000 a year, I don't know how you're doing it.
Sure, 100,000? Nah, man. 100,000 ain't even enough. Depends where you live at. If you live like the other lady in Boston and all that, if you live in New York, California, 100,000 don't even cut it. Come to Texas with 100,000, you'll be able to survive. Mississippi, Alabama, you'd be doing a little bit better at 100,000. But 100,000 is really not no money nowadays. And in order for you to flourish or do things, people tell you 7 streams of income, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's people that do have 7 streams of income. There's people that don't have 7 streams of income. It's easy for somebody that has already things going for them to be like, oh, you could do this, you could do that. It's harder to make the people do it or to help them do it, right? A lot of people, if it's not affecting them right now, they don't move correctly because it's not affecting them right now. That's the problem. Everybody's acting like nothing's going on, but everybody's complaining about how expensive things are, but nobody's doing nothing to correct their situation. That's where you run into a problem. So you have to correct the situation. How do you correct the situation? You got to make more money. That's what everybody's going to tell you. Make more money. Make more money. It's not just making more money, man. It's more of a spiritual, I don't let nothing get to me and stuff like that. But I am stretched thin. I'm not going to lie. I'm super stretched thin. And I was going to do a business thing with somebody else before, and they said something that kind of shied me away from the person. Like, I'm not going to mess with this person because I don't like a situation that, it wasn't just one thing, it was just multiple things. So sometimes you got to be careful, and even with the people that you think you're going to do business with. You know what I mean? So, yeah, make more money. That's all. Make more money. But they're not giving you more money. You know what I mean?
You're a hell of a lot better at managing money than I am, I can tell you that. Because she goes to the grocery store 2 or 3 times a week, every week, and spends $100, $150 every time she goes. You cannot go to the grocery store now and get out for under $100. And you might have 10 items. Well, $100 ain't gonna buy you 10 items. But we never have anything in the house, and that's what got it started. I'm like, there's never anything to eat here. And she said, well, it's so freaking expensive. By the time you go buy for one meal, that's it. And she's right. That's true. And it just got me thinking, how are people doing it? How are people even feeding themselves, much less feeding a family? If you're making a job with, $15, $16, $18 an hour, I don't know how you're doing it. I don't. How are you keeping yourself alive and a roof over your head? I don't get it. I don't get it. You must be a hell of a lot better at managing money than I am.
It's hard to do it with $15, $16, $17 an hour. To me, the minimum wage should be, $17 to $20 an hour. I think the average entry job should be about $30 an hour, to me. And even then, at $30 an hour, right? Let's say $30 an hour. That's $1,200 a week. After your expenses, your taxes, and all that, how much are you really going to take home? $900, $800. So then you look at it, let's just say 900, right? Let's just do 800 to make it even, right? 8 and 8 is 16, and 16 is 32. But the average rent is 1,500. That's damn near 45% of your freaking paycheck. It's not adding up. No matter how you see it, it doesn't add up. And the sad part is that a lot of people is getting caught on this hamster wheel. That's the sad part. And nobody want to talk about that, you know? But, man, listen, man. I wish people the best. I wish people the best. If you want to know some of my ventures, you need a lot of money to get in some of the stuff that I'm into, okay? Some of my ventures. But there's other ventures where it took the minimal money as possible to do it, and it still flourishes. You don't need a ton of money to start a business. You don't. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That doesn't change, no matter how bad the economy is. I learned in 2008 that I'm not going to get caught with pants hanging down. You understand what I'm saying? I learned that in 2008 because 2008, I lost a lot of money. And I said, no, this ain't going to happen to me. And then it happened again in 2012, but a lot of people didn't notice it. And I flourished off of it. Then it happened in 2020, and I gained more. And then now when things is tanking, it doesn't matter now. You understand what I'm saying? Can you still do it today? Yes, you can. Don't let nobody tell you no different. It still could be done. It's just on if you're going to take the initiative to do it. All right?
Did afford. I mean, we had no idea what it actually cost every month. $700,000 in Los Angeles County. We were 27. We saved the down payment. We signed everything. We thought that was the hard part. It was not the hard part. I'm Matty. I'm a teacher, and my husband is literally an accountant, and we're still figuring out how to pay off this house. This is that story, and I'm telling everything.
Not everything.
Everything.
Who can afford a house right now? Oh, that's right. Nobody. Oh, well, you should have bought a house when I was 6! I remember if you made $100,000, I thought you were Beyonce. So I'm looking at houses, right? I'm just dreaming. A girl's just dreaming. If I want a $1.5 million house, okay? A $1.5 million house in Washington State is like maybe a 3-bedroom, 2,500 square foot, like has a yard, you know, all these things that I'm kind of looking for, okay? It's not $1.5 million. It's $2 million. Okay, how much money do you have to make in order to afford a $2 million house? $800,000 a year! Upwards of $800,000 a year. Who is making that amount of money? If you see me doing something that's kind of sus and you're like, wow, I'm really surprised that she would do that. That really surprises me. Don't blame me. You gotta do what you gotta do. Just know it bought me a house, okay? If you see me somewhere and you're like, why am I looking at Sidion's feet? Just know that my feet bought me a house.
She's hilarious, man. She's funny. That was funny as hell. Her feet bought her a house. She talk about OnlyFans, right? Oh, man, the times that we reached in this country, man. You got to laugh at stuff, man. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy what we reached in this country with people. But she's hilarious, though, man. Oh, man. Hey, man. It bought her a house. That's all that matters, all right? So, you know, it is what it is, right? It's crazy, though.
Building me a house. Growing up, I was always told that building a house is actually cheaper and you actually get what you want in your home. At least that's what I thought. Now, I live in a pretty decent area. I'm not talking about $1 million homes, but I do live in a decent middle class area. And the problem that I'm having is that I don't want to spend $400,000 on a home that was built in the 90s and only has 3 bedrooms. Now, I was thinking that $400,000 does sound like a good bit of change to go build yourself a home. So I call up this home construction company and I'm as happy as I could be because I'm about to tell him, hey man, I'm willing to spend $400, maybe even $500,000 for you to build me a house. So I get this guy on the phone, I give him my little spiel. Hey, how you doing? I'm thinking about building a home. Let me know what you got for me. He goes, no problem. That's what I specialize in. Then he asks me the magical question, what's your budget? At this point, I've been waiting for this question. I'm about to tell him $400,000. I'm about to hear him jumping up in the air and we're about to have a kumbaya moment. I tell him $400,000 thinking he's going to talk me up to $500,000, but this man says, ooh, do you already have the land? The land? No, this is why I'm contacting you because I don't have anything. Put me on. You're supposed to be letting me know what's up. This man proceeds to tell me that the area that I'm in, the land itself is $400,000 and he doesn't do any construction on homes that are even less than $500,000. He then proceeds to tell me that they don't do land and home loans together. Those are separate things. So I say to him, wait, hold up. You're talking too fast. You're telling me that I will have to pay 2 separate loans with 2 separate interest rates and I will be paying $900,000 on a $500,000 home? He goes, yeah, the housing market is really messed up right now and the price of lumber is through the roof. It sounds like you want one of those new construction bills that's 45 minutes out from where you are right now. And
$400,000 for the land, $500,000 for the house. Yeah. Young brother, let me tell you something. The 2 separate loans, the $400,000 and the $500,000, right? You will be in such a jam to do that it doesn't make sense. I'm gonna tell you why. The $400,000 for raw land is gonna be taxed at a different rate, right? Because it's raw land. There's nothing on there, all right? So it's just raw land. So let's say you're gonna pay $1,200 a year for that land, right? With no house on it. Then you put a structure on it. How much do you think that property tax is going to be once you get evaluated after the first year? I'm going to tell you, you're going to end up paying like about $9,000 to $12,000 in taxes. So your mortgage for 2 plus an extra $800 to $1,000 on top of the 2 mortgages. That's the thing that we reached to in this country where it's unsustainable. That's impossible to do, impossible to manage. So let's say $400,000. For $400,000, let's say you got a 30-year loan. You're looking at $2,200, right? Then you're looking at for a $500,000 house, about $2,500. So you have $4,700 just in 2 loans, and you got the best credit in the world. It's still going to be high, all right? So you're looking at $4,700. Then you add the tax to that, another $800. You're talking about $5,500, and then you add your insurance. Another $500 to $800 on top of that. So you're looking at about $6,000 to $6,300 a month for a plot that's $400,000, a house that's $500,000. It's unsustainable. It is.
I said, sir, I'm sorry for wasting your time, and I just hung up the phone. But that's how bad inflation is right now. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
I live in New York. My rent is half my paycheck. So my paycheck comes in and I'm like, oh my gosh, yay, it's payday. And then I'm like, oh wait, I have to pay rent. And then I have like $7 left. And you might be like, Madeline, why do you live in New York? So fair. I don't know. I have no money.
I just got a notification that
I'm a New Yorker. I grew up in Bronx, New York. And then I lived in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And my taxes alone, okay, now I lived in a building that I owned the apartment. My taxes alone was $18,000 a year, just for taxes. That's not including water, sewage, maintenance. Then there's a HOA and this and that. But I used to pay up the wazoo, okay? I'm not going to lie. It used to run me about 40 grand a month. A little bit more than 40 grand a month. I mean a year. He used to run me about 40 grand a month. I mean a year. I said a month. I keep saying a month. Man, bro, I was so glad that I left New York State, bro. Listen, man. Best thing I ever did, dog, was come to Texas. You hear me?
My landlord has emailed me. I haven't checked yet. We're gonna check together. If you're like, why the drama? My lease is coming to an end and I've been waiting for this email to see whether my rent is going to be raised or not. Because I have made the decision that it will be my deciding factor on whether I stay or whether I leave. Never beating the new apartment every year allegations. As much as I love this apartment, I just don't know if I can live with...
Your rent is gonna get raised. Taxes go up, insurance go up every year, so your rent's going to be raised. Hate to be the bearer of bad news on this one, but that's just how it works.
Without an elevator or a bathtub for much longer, and I've decided if my rent is being raised, because I want a bathtub and an elevator, I'll dip. But if it's not being raised, then I'll stick it out another year and see how I feel. A new renewal offer is ready for your review. Ooh, that does sound like, I feel like they raised it. Review offer. Okay, let's click on this. I'm gonna click on this together. Okay, what's making me log in to see it? You must either request notice to vacate, or sign the 12-month renewal. Let's take a look. Raised by $150. They did raise it. Wait! Think again? Flashbacks. I'm having flashbacks. Am I really gonna do this all again? Right now? Well, I said if it was raised, I'm moving. New apartment search series incoming, I guess.
Of course it's going to get raised. Why wouldn't it get raised? It's just like if you was living in there, it's going to get, even if you paid the mortgage on it, your mortgage is going to go up. It is. You know, this country one time went to war because they was putting a tax on tea. On tea. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, I'm going to give you some free game and some food for thought. For those of you that don't know. All right? Because the game is to be told and not sold. So I'm going to give you the game so you can understand. When you buy land, you buy unincorporated land. Why unincorporated? Because it doesn't fall under the same jurisdiction. You will pay less in taxes on it. Then when you buy the land, you don't build a structure on it, meaning a house. You can put what you call a portable house on your structure. What is a portable structure? You can build it from outside your land and not on your land and put it under. You could also put a plot of cement on your ground, built the house on it, and tell them like this is a removable house. You understand what I'm saying? There's ways around things, all right? Just do your due diligence, and it's not rocket science on how to do it, all right? Peace and love. I'll catch you on the next one, man. Get right with the Most High and the Messiah. Get with like-minded people. You know what I mean? Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Hope you and your family as well, and I'll catch you on the next one. And be safe out here, all right? Peace and love, family.